Hi, and welcome to another episode of Patrik's Tech Lightning. In this episode, we will have a look at an interesting piece of technology to manage virtual machines in Azure. Welcome to the world of Azure AutoManage. With a simple point and click on the Azure portal, you can automate operation and ensure all virtual machines are configured properly. Let's dig into the details of this. Here we go. Technically, at the time of writing, Azure AutoManage is in preview. I do expect it to become general availability GA within a very short time frame. The whole idea behind AutoManage is that you can create a different type of configuration profiles, and you can apply these profiles to a set of virtual machines. The configuration profiles you define, you put in certain settings, for example, for backup, anti-malware, monitoring, updates, logging, and more. At this moment, all the configuration features are available for Windows Server OS. There are some limitations for Linux virtual machines, such as no Microsoft anti-malware. Security baseline will be in audit mode only, so it will not be enforced. Let's jump into a demo and have a look and see what we can do with this. I have created an Ubuntu virtual machine with the standard Azure image. Looking at the details, we can see that there's no backup configured. Now, let's open the Azure AutoManage pane. Here we have two options which you can look into. You have AutoManage Machines, which gives you a list of virtual machines and the configuration policy which is applied. It's quite empty here at this point. You can click on Enabled, and you can first get to select the configuration profile. We have the Azure Best Practices Production, which is recommended for production environment and include insights and backups. We have Azure Best Practices Dev and Test, which is for dev test environments, meaning more focused on backup and less focused on monitoring. Last in the list, we have the custom profile, meaning you can create a custom profile to suit your needs. If we click on View Azure Best Practice Profiles, we can see which items they contain. Here you see the policy and what we're looking at. It's split up into different areas. We have Machine Insights, which is monitoring with Azure Monitoring for your VM. It checks performance and health of your virtual machines. Backup, now that's where you enable backup and the backup schedule. We have Azure Security Center. This should really be named Microsoft Vendor for Cloud. This is the tool where you get a security baseline of your virtual machine. AutoManage will configure the subscription your virtual machine is in to use the free tier if you enable this. Further, you can enable Microsoft anti-malware, update management, change tracking, which is inventory, which combines change tracking and inventory functions to actually allow you to track virtual machine and server infrastructure changes. Guest configuration policy, now that is used to monitor the configuration and report on the compliance of the machine. On Windows machines, it's not only audited, but you can also enforce it should it find something that's not in line with the policy. For Linux, it's currently only in audit mode. It also has support for Azure Automation Accounts, Log Analytics Workspace, and Boot Diagnostics. Let's create a custom profile and enable a few settings and see them take effect. We tick the box of Custom Profile and create New. We name the profile. Select a resource group and a region. Now we can finally see which settings to enable, and for this we will enable backup and we'll leave the schedule as default. Let's not enable Microsoft anti-malware for this demo. Insights monitoring, yes. We'll also enable guest configuration, even though it's only in audit mode for Linux. For the rest, we will leave at default and on as such as update management, change tracking, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and the rest. Now that the profile is created, we can select the virtual machines to apply it to. So we pick the virtual machine we looked at earlier, we select it and enable. Let's now take a few minutes to pause and come back once the settings are applied. Now we're back and let's have a look at what's been going on. In the status view, we can see that the virtual machines is now conform, which is great. All the settings we have configured have now been applied. Looking at the virtual machine, we can now see, for example, that backup has been configured, the boot diagnostic has been enabled, and all the other settings we have configured have now been set. As we can see, Azure AutoManage is a very powerful tool. The pricing of this tool is unknown at the moment, but I really don't think Microsoft will charge for it. After all, it actually pushes you into enabling more services in the Azure cloud. So I hope this was useful for you, and until next time, take care and see you.